I think a lot of people can relate that in our childhood, sometimes we had specific movies, TV shows, and video games that we only watched or played at other people's houses. One of those places for me was my grandparents' place. At my grandparents' place, they had a DVD player, a PS2, and a VCR, and one of the movies that me and my brother would watch on this VCR was an Icelandic animated film called Katie the Ugly Caterpillar, or Katla Litla Ljóta. Katie the Ugly Caterpillar was the first CGI animated movie made in Iceland in the year 2002. It was written by Friðrik Ellingsson and directed by Gunnar Karlsson. I don't have any recollection of what happens in this movie as of writing this, but what I do remember is me watching this as a kid a bunch because there wasn't a lot of options. And that this film is fucking gross. But without further ado, let us commence this viewing and reviewing of the movie Katie the Ugly Caterpillar and see if it's as bad as I think it will be. The movie begins with a panning shot of a tree and some weird looking butterfly thing flying around it. A narration tells us about this caterpillar who has just opened its eyes for the first time, and then said caterpillar just sort of looks around for like 20 seconds.
This must be the most beautiful garden in the world.
Do something! Please! Katie is hungry and starts munching on this leaf when this fucking ladybug just starts fat shaming Katie out of nowhere.
My oh my oh my word! You certainly know how to eat! Looks as though you're going to finish off the whole tree! Do you know no limits?
Limits? What is that?
The ladybug lets Katie know that the bugs with wings are higher insects, and every bug should do as they say, and then proceeds to call Katie the ugliest creature in the garden.
You're the ugliest thing in this garden, or anywhere else for that matter!
Which, by the way, I can't say that's true considering how everything in this garden is pure nightmare fuel. I mean, even the ladybug herself is honestly way uglier than Katie. But Katie doesn't see that, so she becomes depressed and only eats when no one else is looking. One night while she's asleep, she falls off the leaf and miraculously lands on another leaf but on the ground. And then the most weird and bizarre set of events happen.
I'll never make it back up into my tree.
There. There's no hurry. We'd rather let back people.
I'm just a fat, ugly caterpillar.
Why, you're no fatter than me. Hey, maybe you're a princess under a spell. And one fine day, the spell will be lifted, and then you'll realize that you are and you have been a princess the whole time.
The caterpillar was
Katie is very insecure. She keeps talking about how ugly and fat she is, but the worm then tries to comfort Katie. He says that she should love herself, but in the movie, it takes him 1 minute and 40 seconds to say that, with no music and extremely slow shots.
Oh, no.
You can't talk like that. You have to like yourself. Just take the shine and respect yourself, and it's not shining.
What really matters is to be kind.
Katie bids farewell to the worm and makes her way to a flower. She falls asleep in it, and then it's the next day when a bee comes along.
What are you doing here, you ugly thing?
Among Us.
What? Then the ladybug appears and they both start bullying her for sleeping in the flower, and I have a question. Why the fuck does every flying bug look like that? Why? They're uglier than Katie. Wait, is that intentional? Game theory. We then get introduced to the spider.
All day long, she would sit still in her web.
The spider attempts to convince Katie to stay the night with the promise that she'll make a web for Katie to get up to her tree the next day.
Then come closer, my dear, so I can see you better.
Like.
That's it. That's
Katie, no. Katie, fuck. Katie, no, stop it. No, Katie, no. Katie, fuck, no, God. Damn it. Ugh, you silly bitch. Katie is now wrapped up in a web when a bird notices from afar.
Isn't that a caterpillar the sun is shining on down there?
You can see better than me, my love.
The bird then snacks Katie away from the spider and brings her up into the nest, where now there are suddenly 2 babies just screaming, and then the bird starts singing. Katie gets knocked down by the baby birds and ends up hanging on this tree upside down and falls asleep. She ends up sleeping for like 48 hours and then these things just take her in her sleep. But Katie's not having any of this, so she wakes up and she breaks free. Katie became a butterfly! She can fly now! And she still looks exactly the same except she got tan. Yes. Now that Katie is a butterfly, she sits down on the grass and that bitch the ladybug comes along and is all like, "Oh my god, you're so pretty, you want to be friends? I absolutely love your wings, queen slay."
But what was it that the ladybird said about wings?
I don't think this movie should have been called Katie the Ugly Caterpillar. Because compared to literally every other thing in this film, she's not even top 3 ugliest characters out of like 13 bugs. C tier.
Princess! I knew it! Now you are free and your spell has been broken.
I had no idea you were a princess bound by spell. I just thought you were a low-life bug.
Ah, you foolish bitch.
You're just worming.
Don't be too hard on the ladybird. What is past is past.
She is literally only being nice to Katie because she's a butterfly. She was a bitch like 2 days ago. She isn't better, she hasn't grown. She literally just told the worm, "You're just worming." In the actual film, he's literally just saying, "You should be treating everyone kindly." So he's not even close to being too hard on the ladybug. But it's fine because the ladybug does come around and see the error in her ways. So, whatevs. I think the main takeaway of this film is, don't be mean to ugly people. Because one day they could get a tan and grow wings. And you can't be mean to tan people with wings.
And who says it's so important to be beautiful? What matters most is being kind.
Oh, or that. I think after everything is said and done, I would probably rate this movie about a 3. Maybe it's because it's the first CGI animated movie made in Iceland, but it is disgusting. And maybe it's because it is the first CGI animated movie made in Iceland, but it is so long when it doesn't have to be. This could have been like 11 minutes, but just it really pushes for it to be longer, which I think I get why they did that. That's probably just how they had to do it. But yeah, I think all in all, it's aight. But now, Katie is a butterfly, and she's enjoying her life in the sky. It's quite a nice ending, and oh my god, she just flew into the sun. Ah, shit!